guys, what's going on? Finally got some new content coming your way. So far all I've had is random horror reviews. Finally starting off a new series. It's going to be a top 10 series. I really enjoy watching top 10s. I just like seeing where everyone ranks things in a certain category. I just think that's a lot of fun. So this is going to be the start of my top 10 series. I'm also going to try and do it mostly in one take today. There probably will be a couple of edits with mistakes or whatever, but I'm going to try and not all do it in one take. I just think it will flow a bit more smoothly. This is my second time trying to do this video. Just had a little interruption earlier that I couldn't edit out. But yeah, we're going to get underway. I've got a drink here so I can, keep my throat nice and moist while we keep going. But so my episode 1 is going to be top 10 horror remakes. There are some really good horror remakes out there. I know most people say, the originals are always better, which for me as well is mostly the case, but there are some really good remakes out there. Just with this top 10 in particular as well, or with most of my top 10s actually, I'm going to do it my favourites, as in there are movies that probably should be in this top 10, as in like I rank really high. Just looking at my shelf now, let's say the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder, I give that like an 8, an 8.5. There are movies in my top 10 that I probably rank lower, but I watch them more than Dawn of the Dead, if that makes sense. I think that's how my top 10s are going to really work. Even though a movie is really good, just if it's not one that really comes to mind and I don't really want to put it in my top 10, yeah, I'm just going to do my top 10 or my top 10 favourites, or ones that come to mind straight away. The only one that really isn't there that probably should be is John Carpenter's The Thing. I just honestly did forget that it's a remake. I think most people do. So that's not there. I also just wanted to quickly say as well, it's the most case for any of my videos, whether it's a review, a ranking, or a top 10. This is all my opinion, guys, so take it with a grain of salt. If you're a movie that you really like and you think should be in there isn't, or vice versa, it's in there and you don't think it should be, so what? It's different opinions, guys, so I'm happy to talk about it in the comments, but who really cares? As I said, just take it with a grain of salt, just enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get it underway. Guys, this is my top 10 horror movie remakes. Alright, so let's get this started. So first off, the one straight away is a controversial take, so don't click off my video straight away, guys, just give it a fucking chance, yeah. My number 10 is the Poltergeist remake. I'm telling you, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I'm sure you guys are hovering over to exit this video right now. I would have been in the same boat. All I heard was shit things about this movie when it first came out. Even now, all I see it when I'm in stores is in like bargain bins, going for like it's new, and I bought this for like $2 new. I had like no faith in this movie, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna check it out. It's not as good as the original, but fuck, this movie is actually surprisingly fun. Like, I expected this movie to be shit. It's not gonna win no awards or nothing. Don't get your hopes that high, but I had so much fun with this movie. Maybe it's because my expectations were so low and it just topped them. But yeah, this movie was a lot of fun, and I think just guys, if you're not willing to give it a chance, just give it a go. If it doesn't win you over in the first half hour, you can turn it off, but this was a surprise hit for me. I really did love this movie. So number 10, Poltergeist. Alright, my number 9, once again, a pretty controversial one. I know most people, for the most part, don't like this movie, but it is 2007's Rob Zombie's Halloween. I've got a double feature here, so we're just talking about the top one, Halloween. The general consensus for this movie seems to be that they don't feel like Michael Myers needs a background story, and a lot of people aren't a fan of Rob Zombie's grimy, gritty feel and style that he does. My problem with this movie is probably the second half, because the second half, obviously, as I said, it's got Rob Zombie's gritty style to it, but it's mostly the same as the original Halloween, which I don't have a problem with. But if I'm going to see a remake, I want to see, similar guidelines, but something also different, like add something new to it. And that's what the first half of the movie does. It gives you a background look at Michael Myers. Is it needed? No, but it is something different. And as I said, it has Rob Zombie's feel. I always feel like when you watch a Rob Zombie movie, you need to have a shower afterwards because it is so gritty and grimy. But I just like that it is something different. It doesn't come close to the original Halloween. That movie is just a perfect 10 out of 10. This one does have its faults, but remake-wise, I think it does go pretty well. So, Rob Zombie's Halloween as my number 9. Alright. My number 8. I feel like this one gets very overlooked, and that is the Piranha remake. This movie came out in 2010. I would have been 9 years old. I don't know why I was 9 and watching this, because it's blood, gore, naked girls everywhere. And my little 9-year-old brain loved it, and I've seen it plenty of times since then, and every time I love it. It's just so enjoyable. It's one of those movies where you can just switch your brain off, have a few drinks with your friends, watch it, just have a good time. And every time it delivers. As I said, for remakes, I just feel like this movie is overlooked. Like, it's not one that comes to mind straight away for most people. But this movie is so much fun. It's what you want from a movie like this. There's just piranhas everywhere. There's blood everywhere. There's girls everywhere. This movie is so much fun. And yeah, I just think a lot of people, when it comes to remakes, need to probably rank this one a lot higher, because I think it gets overlooked. But yeah, Piranha remake. I feel like I'm going quicker on this video than I did on my first take of it. So that's good, and I feel like I don't need any edits so far. Alright, my number 7. This one has a bit of nostalgia for me. And it's a movie, once again, it's a remake of a high franchise, and that's Friday the 13th. I don't feel like people hate this one too much. You know, it's not a favourite of the Friday the 13th franchise, which I understand. Like, I could name 5 Friday the 13th movies that at least that I rank higher than this, but I feel like this is in the better half. The first 20 minutes of this movie, I don't think anyone can argue it's some of the best Friday the 13th there is out there. It sort of dips off towards the middle. I really like the ending. I'm not sure about everyone else. But I have a soft spot for this movie. It is one I like to put on. Obviously, the original Friday the 13th, it's a little campy now, but this one, it's got the grittiness, it's got the darkness to it, and yeah, I do think it is a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't have too much to get into this one. I just think it is a remake that I think maybe a lot of people do overlook, especially with amongst the Friday the 13th films. I don't think it's that bad, so that's my number 7. Okay, let's keep this going. My number 6 is a movie that I want to revisit again soon. Every time I've watched it, I've loved it, and that is the House of Wax remake. Technically, this is the second House of Wax remake, because the one with Vincent Price, a lot of people don't know that is actually a remake too. So this is technically the second one. I feel like most people know this movie for having Paris Hilton in it. I mean, she's not going to win any fucking awards in it. She's not that good of an actress at all, but she's actually not that bad. She doesn't bring the movie down. Stop giving the movie hate because it has Paris Hilton in it. This movie is a lot of fun. Obviously, the one with Vincent Price, it's old, so it has that classic feel to it, you know, what you expect from a movie of that time. This one, it really is a product of its time. You can tell it's from the early, middle 2000s. It's got that slasher feel. It is so much fun. I love the town, like the abandoned town, I guess ghost town. I love the wax museum. I love the twist. I love the killers. And this movie is just a lot of fun all around. I need to revisit it again because I haven't seen it in a while, but as I said, every time I watch it, I have a blast. Once again, you can just switch your brain off, watch it with some friends. It is a good time. So that's my number 6, House of Wax. Alright, getting into the top 5 now, guys. My number 5 is a movie that needed to come out. I've always said it. It's a remake of 1990's It, so obviously 2017's It. It If you watch the 1990s miniseries of It, there's no arguing that movie needed a remake. I rewatching the 90s It, the only things that hold up is like the friendship quality in it, and Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise. That is legendary. But I also do like Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. It's obviously a lot different, but I do like both performances. This movie was needed. There's a lot of remakes that come out now that are just unnecessary. This was a movie that definitely needed it, and it benefited from it. This is a better movie than the 90s one by far. The 90s one just doesn't hold up. But I'm talking too much about the 90s one. This one is awesome. The kid actors, they're awesome. None of them are bad in this movie. As I said, Bill Skarsgård, he holds his own as Pennywise. This movie, I feel like a lot of people have seen it. Everyone knows it. Good movie. Alright. Coming in at number 4. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm sort of rushing it since my last video did go for so long. I'm taking a lot of drinks. It's boiling hot today. It's too hot. Typical Australian summer. Alright, my number 4 is the second movie by Alexandra Aja, because we had Piranha. The Hills Have Eyes. This movie blew me away the first time I seen it, and every time I see it, I really do have a good time. I actually saw this movie before seeing the original. I know, how dare I. I do actually really like Wes Craven's version of it too, but this is a step up. If you know the story, it needs to have a dark, gritty feel, and Aja understood that. He understood the assignment, and he delivers, because this movie is so dirty, gritty, disgusting. It's honestly disturbing to watch at points, but that's what makes it such a good movie. Sorry, I keep burping. But that's what makes it such a good movie. This is once again a 2-pack. Talking about this one here, the second one's actually not that bad either. It doesn't hold a candle to this one, but it's watchable. Anyway, the Hills Have Eyes remake, definitely one to watch, guys. That's my number 4. Alright, finally down to my top 3. I'm going to have a hot take with this next one, because we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Now, my hot take with it, I feel like most people do like this remake in general. This was like the first of like the big wave of remakes that came through. This one sort of kicked it off. My controversial hot take, please don't dislike this video or stop watching. Keep watching my content, guys, but I actually like this movie more than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't have a problem with Tobe Hooper's TCM. It's a good movie, but this one just adds so much more. This movie is... I thought it was like genuinely scary to watch. I like how they add a bit more to the other villains in this movie. Leatherface, obviously, is iconic in this movie as well. But I forget the guy who plays the sheriff in this movie. He was so fucking scary in this movie. Like, every time I think of that movie, I think of him, and he's like up there with Leatherface in this movie as like the main villain for me in this one. This movie just added that darkness, this grittiness that was needed, even though the original one has that. This one is just an updated, and I feel like a better version of that movie. So, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm probably getting so many upset people right now. But oh well, who cares? All right. Up to my final 2 now. These last 2 could have went either way. My number 1, for people that know me and know my favourite movies, they could have obviously picked it, but both of these are 10 out of 10s. So, my number 2 is David Cronenberg's The Fly. I had to pull out my Fly set by Via Vision. It's got all 5 films in it. But we're not talking about that at the moment. The Fly. Jeff Goldblum stars in it as Brundlefly, as he turns out to be in the end. Everyone knows the story of The Fly. this movie is just one of the best sci-fi horror slash. It has that romance in it. It has that tragedy, heartbreak. That's the root of this movie. How tragic it is. It really is just a tragic tale, and as sad and low beat, downbeat it is such a good movie, and like I really can't put any flaw to this movie. This movie is just always a good time. So tragic, so sad, but great movie. I guess I'll just leave it at that, because most people will know this movie, but if you haven't, somehow just check it out. Yeah, The Fly. I don't have much else to add to it. Alright. Finally, down to my number one horror remake. This movie, I could talk about it all day. I could watch it all day. I could watch it in any mood, any weather. Just this movie to me is perfect. It is one of my favorite horror movies, if not my favorite. Everyone's gonna know what my number one is if you know me. 1988's The Blob. This movie is a blast from start to finish. I can't pick a point in this movie that I don't enjoy. The effects, the characters, Kevin Dillon in this movie, he is a legend. For me at least, just his mullet is the best. I mean, it's so good. The effects, killing kids, who doesn't love that in horror movie? I mean, in horror movies, don't read too much into that. Yeah, this movie just from start to finish is a blast. As I said, I could talk about this movie all day. This is one of, if not my favorite horror movies of all time. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. This is my number one remake. Could be my number one film. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, guys. So let's do just a little quick recap of the movies I had in my top 10. So number 10 I had Poltergeist. I'm sure a lot of you clicked off my video once you saw that one. Hopefully you guys are still here. Thank you for watching. Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween was number 9. Piranha, once again, as I said, a remake that I feel like gets overlooked. Number 7, Friday the 13th. A lot of nostalgia with this one. Sorry, I got shit fallen. My number 6, House of Wax. Number 5, I feel like it's a pretty new movie. I feel like it's the newest one here, I think, so everyone would know that. Second, Alexander Aja, movie I had on this list. He must be really good at remakes. The Hills Have Eyes, really dark, gritty go at it. Love it. Number 3, maybe not my most controversial pick on this list, but I had some hot takes saying it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah, just fucking love this movie. And then my number 2, as I said, they're both 10 out of 10s. My number 1 and 2. Number 2, The Fly, David Cronenberg's. Just such a tragic story, but great film. And 1988's The Blob could be my favourite movie of all time. Alright guys, so this video went maybe a little too long. Sorry about that, but hopefully you guys are going to like this series. Hopefully you guys are liking just my content in general. As you guys know, I've only just sort of started on YouTube. But I'm having such a good time. Hopefully I can keep putting new content out for you guys. I'm going back to work pretty soon, so I'm going to have less time, but hopefully I can stay on top of it. But I really do appreciate you guys watching my content. Hopefully I can have some more top 10s, as well as reviews and other stuff coming your way, just content in general. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who is liking my videos, who is subscribing, who's coming back and watching more. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you guys for a new video soon enough.